I'll just let me sit up a minute. I've sneaked away for a couple of minutes. No, this phone's not very good for filming on, but this is how I'm going to do it. So I'll see if anybody comes in. If not, we can watch it after. Made this necklace yesterday. It's a bit like a choker. So don't know how to start this. I'll play the video in a minute. Well, not play it, but you can hear it. Hi, 5 people in. Hi, Tapa. Oh, thanks for sending that thing. Though I've seen it, but thanks for sending it. I've just sent it out on Facebook. But anyone else there? Hi, Sue. Hi, Paul from Newcastle. Hi, Beehive from Manchester. Hi, where we go when we go out. Yep. Hi, Reese. Hi, is it Mr. Rax? Hi, anyone who else comes in while I'm talking. I'll say hi at the end because I just need to get this out. Wifing's having his dinner, but I've had a lot of synchronicities happening. Well, quite a lot, and this week, even though we're only on Wednesday, and I think last week, there's something I kept bringing up with somebody. And hi, Effie. Yeah, I finally made it. Hi. You know, talking about the whole Q thing and things that I believe in, you know, and this person was like, oh yeah, I've looked at stuff years ago and blah 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 blah, and they're not really concerned about Q or what's going on, sort of thing. They don't have to be, but I did step in and went, yeah, but you know, it's part of this and it's part of that. And if we're watching films and stuff, I'll be like, yeah, but you know, like they do this and they do this. Synchronicities everywhere lately, yeah. And I do get into that bit of stubbornness because I am quite stubborn with my beliefs. People, may see that in yourselves, and I'm just saying it as it is because this is what it is. Because I do have, I do have that belief. I'm very stubborn when I have that belief in, even though we say we're letting go of stuff, of there is good coming in. It just doesn't look like it. We don't all know everything, but I feel that. I don't know it. It's just a feeling. But we have to go through all this stuff because it's unearthing stuff, and it's unearthed a lot in me because we are learning to let go. But sometimes you think you've let go, and then something else pops up, and you've got to let go of that. Yeah, they don't see the dots. They wait in like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into debate of that because I am coming to that conclusion myself of I don't need to get in debates with people about it anymore, especially if they're not looking into it, they're not looking into it. I think all is being unearthed, whether people believe in that or they believe in something else or whatever. And sometimes when you're trying to put your point across and someone's trying to put their point across, sometimes it does trigger you and you get that vibrate. Like I upset myself at weekend and got upset crying, not in a bad way, just because I thought I'd upset someone by saying something because they didn't really want to hear it. Then it made me feel bad, but then it made them feel bad. So there was a no-win situation in that situation, even though it was just trying to talk through a few things. So I thought, maybe that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. And I've been thinking that for a long time. And people have told me that as well, but you can't come to something. You've got to go through the journey yourself. And the thing is, yeah, the best is yet to come. And I believe that as well, is I can't tell anyone how to do the journey. Everybody's journey is individual and everyone's got to go it through their individual way of whatever it is they believe in, whatever even if I think, oh my God, I think that's bad, because that's that duality thing playing out again that we're trying to come away from. So had a bit of a chat again yesterday, and then I realised it doesn't benefit me trying to ram something down someone's throat about my beliefs if they're not, I'm not saying not on it, but just doesn't, because there is that thing of when this all comes out, how is it going to affect your life after it all comes out? Hi, Mark. Even though we say, you know, like the stuff's coming and people have got to see in the world and wake up because they'll wake up to the self, which is what I see and I believe that they'll wake up to the inner self, so they'll want to go back to morals and stuff like that, of what we really want in the world for everybody. But it is our own journey and we've got to do this ourselves and we've got to go within, and no one can do it for you, which I've said before. But then sometimes I still get triggered, though I think it's good to get triggered because it brings them up that stuff you've unearthed. And I've known for a very long time what it is within me with my stubbornness and sometimes how I project sometimes and all that. Even though there's a projection of, a lot of us know there's something good coming, but all this has got to be unearthed. Now this agreed, Dolly. I hope more might wake up soon. Yeah, and this video is a Laura Eisenhower video, and it's not because I resonate with everything this guy's saying, but I resonate with a lot he's saying. He does talk about Trump and Q being a side of this, that, and the other, but he doesn't actually even know that Trump's part of Q. But that's not even in the debate. That's that thing again of yes, yeah, it is bigger than we can imagine. But I'm just talking about the whole debate, having not debates or conversations with people that are not into it. It's not doing me any good, and it's not doing them any good if that's not where they're at, or they are at that, but they've come away from it. Because I know a lot of people who've come through this stuff, they've not needed Q to show them, but some of us have, if anyone gets what I'm saying, because people know about history and corruption and stuff like that. But I do have that belief very, very, very strongly anyway, that was then and this is now, and it's all about being in the now. And things do change, things do not stay the same. We're supposed to go with the flow, we're supposed to let go with the flow. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm going to let go of this stubbornness now, because I've just realized something within myself this week that kept getting pointed to, and I wasn't listening, and I haven't been listening for ages. But you have to go through that yourself to know, and then to be told something I didn't really like, but to take it in and think, oh, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I need to transmute it. It's alchemy. It's about the chemicals. The chemicals in your body, when you're seeing something on the news and certain stuff going on, it's bubbling away. It's either going to make you angry, which it does, but are you going to transmute them into, the center and think, well, I'm not going to let that energy of what that's trying to push affect me. I'm going to transmute it and bring it into something positive. Thank you, Tapper. So the title was Is Laura Eisenhower's latest? So I'm just going to play a little bit at the beginning. I'm not saying I resonate with everything this guy says, even though it's good because he says different things about different things and what you should be doing, but everyone's doing their own individual thing anyway. That suits them, and that they in a stand, and people use different words, which I've all said. So we'll just see if we can listen to a bit of it.
And all of us, the audience. Thank you so much, and I look forward to having what we are calling our tea time together, where we just sit back, have a cup of tea, and discuss the qualities of the world that's working in and around us right now. Part of the structural world we live in is asking us to store charge and polarity of others for later debate and argument. And this is now ever present in the world we're living in, not
Sorry, I like the way he said polarity of others. There's all these polarities going on, and we're all debating different polarities. When really, yeah, that is a sort of a distraction. If you get what I'm saying. But anyway,
just the starseed community, the conspiracy community, the political community. There's so much information that's asking you to store charge and polarity to debate and argue later.
Oh, yes. But before we get into all that, let me just tell everybody a little bit about you. And that's very key. And that's definitely what's, showing up. And I've been running into some walls myself about it all. But yes, everybody, just a little bit about Andrew Bartas.
Because she's talking about getting triggered and running into walls. What she says about getting triggered happened to me this week, and it happened to me last night. And then I woke up this morning, Laura Eisenhower's put a video on, which I was hoping she had done, and talking about the thing I was thinking about. There's a synchronicity right there. Like I said, I don't resonate with every detail this guy says, because like I said, you only take what resonates and the rest you let go. So
he is known as a galactic historian, a psychic reader of the Akashic records, a shaman master, a Reiki teacher, a transcendent teacher, a medical intuitive, super psychic, horse whisperer, energy healer, and much, much more. And yes, we've done interviews in the past, and they've always been really mind-blowing. The amount of downloads and information that comes in is huge. So yeah, go back to kind of what you were talking about with just the argument, the conflict, the things coming to the surface, and how that applies to what we're seeing currently in the world.
humanity was never meant to debate and argue at the levels that we are today. But culture and the taboos and sacred cows of culture, one is the family debate at Thanksgiving. Why does politics come up every Thanksgiving and you have the particular person that's going to promote their perspective and point of view when the majority of the people, other people don't want to hear it? Because we are put in a situation where so many people are learning a subject and trying to immediately reteach it with the charge and vigor of my way is the right way. And when people are stuck in my way is the right way,
And I'll be honest, I can be a bit like my way's the right way. And that's a discussion I had last night, like not listening sometimes. But I'm not saying that's a totally bad thing. It's just when when you're an empath, and I think Laura says it on here, you get very into the whole, but what save the world, but what save the people, but I want people to see. So you get very stubbornish, I think, in that sense. I think Laura Eisen does mention that, and not in a nasty way, but then you've got to learn to step away from having, thank you, Effie, having not having feelings for people. Like I, have a love for everybody in chat. I want people to grow, but because I am always been very sensitive, you sort of get pushed to do that, and this is what that explains at the beginning of this video. And like I said, it's a long video and I don't agree with everything, but the whole thing of, yeah, we are sort of used that way, empaths, especially sensitive people, because we want to obviously care for everyone, which is service to others and all that, but there's a different side of that as well, because like I said yesterday, it is to look after yourself first, yet you can't look after anyone if you're not looking after yourself. So there is that thing of, I have to let that go as well. And you're going to see that on this channel. I have to let go of that. But I do think a lot of you in chat will definitely understand what I'm saying. So I'll just carry on.
learning, allowing debate for true purpose, which is to discover and rediscover the many paths to the unlimited point of view. Spirituality is the achievement and embodiment of the unlimited point of view, where you've mastered your laws of expectation, creating a limitation. You've lived in the moment long enough to know that if somebody's trying to debate, argument's sake with you, you are lowering your personal frequency for their purpose, and thus lowering your frequency.
And that happened with me yesterday and the other week. I lowered my frequency, which I think I made the other person lower their frequency, and that didn't feel good on either side. So yeah, but I thought about it, you see, when I went to bed, and I was like, And then Laura came on. Oh, hang on, the Finn's coming. Oh no, he's not. He's going to the toilet, so I'll just be quiet a minute. He's eating his dinner. Don't know why I'm saying shush. But do you all get what I'm saying? On the toilet. How are you all while I'm just waiting? Thanks, Tapper. Take that downstairs. Have you eaten your dinner?
I have too much scripts.
You don't have to eat all of them. Go and eat the rest up then. I'm coming down in 2 minutes.
I've ate all of it.
Okay, well, I'm coming checking in a minute. Take that down then.
What down?
Take that down.
What down? This.
Sorry, distraction. Sneaking about. Yeah, so I think, hi Candy Cane, hi Lois, hi Martin. Who just said, hi Marilyn. Yeah, what Mark just said, getting totally triggered by the normies, virtual signaling and walking away now. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just play the rest of it. Hang on a minute.
That you meet them at their level. The world is following this mechanic right now, being driven by the steroids of social media.
Yes, absolutely. And I am seeing that a lot and trying to sort of catch myself from, kind of getting sucked into it, because what I'm discovering is even if I'm holding love, compassion, and unity and openness to other viewpoints, after a while, just feeling very attacked can begin to accumulate. And sometimes it just, I don't know, like yesterday, it took me by surprise that I actually snapped a little bit at somebody. And the way that it made me feel was so different than the vibration that I know of myself to be, that I was like, wow, very interesting. I'm really glad I just experienced that. But what I noticed that maybe others do as well is I felt a lot of remorse, and I felt like it was inappropriate. But I'm glad I felt how that feels. But I know not everybody feels that way. Sometimes that's just the way they're going to stay, and they don't mind throwing stones or swords at somebody. I guess I was reacting to somebody over zealousness about the racism thing and shaming the white person and how we should bow down and feel guilty. I guess that just sort of gets to me, but I realize, they're not really talking to me. They're talking to those that might be struggling with that. They're facing their own shadow about it, and I just need to step back. But I think, something just kind of pushed me over the edge a little bit, and I sort of worked it out in some posts to, bring me some internal peace. But it's just, I know we're in such critical times, and we're not talking about light stuff. And so seeing something feeling like it's being fed in sort of a cabal type ritual, something that could actually impact the timelines in our future, is really hard to just sit back and
I think that's why I've been a bit like, not really snappy, but what she's just said, and I've just seen some of your chat saying, you're glad it's not just you, and someone's just said, I think it's been a bit snappy this week, because it's a critical time, and when people are sort of saying, oh, they don't believe it, oh, blah, 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 you just feel so like, oh, yeah, it's a bit bumpy, but we do go through all these ups and downs, and it's very easy to snap back. It's harder to not snap back, and that's what I've was just thinking about last night. I've got to just stop it. They are on their own journey, and yeah, I know the timeline's very important, but the whole of maybe snapping back and then lowering your frequency, someone else's, is still feeding into that, let's say, negative timeline. I hate even using words today with certain things, but everyone uses different things. It's still feeds into that. So when I woke up this morning and saw Laura talking about it, I thought, well, there's a resonation again, and there's a whole thing of what I was feeling. It's understandable because that we are going through at this great time of life. Exactly. And it's a big thing. Some people will, I had this discussion of what's it doing for your life. You've got to focus on you and what you want to bring in with your designs and your artwork and all that, which, yes, I do. And I'm doing that more. But also, I have to keep an eye on things to be aware. But like I've always said, there's being aware, but not too caught up in it. The people who are getting caught up in it are the people who are going protesting like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. The ones who don't know what's actually behind it, what's behind that is Antifa, and what's behind that is Hillary, and what's behind that is Joe Soros, all that sort of stuff, even though that's dividing again. But any sort of protest of people who are getting angry, people don't know over here. I mean, I know that's going into the feeding thing again, but the whole, they're not showing you the people who are getting shot over there. They're not the MSM, but it's that whole thing of those people who are doing all that are going to get their karma when they realise what they fed their self into. I can't explain it properly. Laura and the guy do on here, but like I said, I don't resonate with everything this guy says because, he talks about Trump as if he's separate from Q, and a lot of us know who are into Q that he's not separate from Q, and it is a whole tool of waking people up to see themselves. I saw myself and the things I have to transmute, and because it's a transition with the alchemy in ourselves through Q. So to me, it isn't a bad thing that people try to say it is. So yeah, Antifa are using Black Lives Matter. It's like to say it's not that Black Lives Matter is a bad movement. It's Antifa are using it to push their violence, and that's a fact. You only have to go and watch Candice Owens and a lot of other people, not what they're saying on the news. It's a fact. But then again, that's feeding into that whole thing again that I'm trying to come away from, putting my perceptions. A lot of people have the same perceptions, but perceptions, it's all this. Yeah, inverted, the duality thing, the fighting against that. So I am trying to, especially in the outside world away from YouTube, when I'm talking to certain people in my family and who I'm with, of not triggering them in that chat. Because the thing is that I do heartedly believe, without anything, like I've said, is the world's going to see anyway. It's all unfolding and playing out. So I don't need to worry anymore. I don't need, not that I'm not worried, but I don't need to worry about what others think or what others need to see. And oh my God, I think it's my job to wake them up. There's enough people, I think. This guy says he doesn't think there's enough woke. I do, because I'm seeing it all the time. But and hearing it, even if people aren't on board with certain things, it doesn't really matter. It's all unfolding. I don't need to push my perceptions on anyone anymore. Everybody knows on here what my opinions are, my perceptions, and they can move because we're flowing. There might be something else a year or two down the line, but I do know that I do need to concentrate on me, the things that I'm bringing in, the energy that I'm bringing in, and the energy that I'm admitting to people around me, because that's a knock-on effect to the people. It's that whole thing, be the light, which I've known, but it is still very hard. Like Laura Eisenhower says the same thing. Sometimes you do get triggered. But then again, triggered is good because it sets off that thing and shakes you up, and you realise that you've got to release something. And I've been thinking for a few weeks, what is this other thing I'm not releasing when I have bits of pains in my body? Because that's when you need to release something. And I've just realised what it is this week. I don't need to tell you what it is. You've got to work out your own. But I know, I've just realised this morning what it is. And then Laura Eisenhower was talking about it. I was like, yes. So I just need to keep, stepping a little bit away, but being aware, but just bringing that when I do come on YouTube, I'm just going to be doing chats and not getting too involved with that sort of stuff, because it is unfolding. It for me, looking at it now, it was my job to wake me up, which if I wake up and people are seeing stuff, it'll wake them up. But I'm not here to, I think, get in them debates anymore, or try and get triggered, or even with trolls that come on, they're in their world. We know there's bots and stuff like that. They're in their world, they're in their reality. What's true for them is true for them. What's true for me is true for me. But as long as my morals, because it's all to do with morals and stuff like that, my morals are good for what I believe is coming in, my heart's in the right place. But I've got to do what's best for me, which will be best for everybody else in the end if I'm coming from a loving, nurturing place. But that loving, nurturing place also you have to do that for you. Otherwise, you can't work in love and nurturing for others. You've got to be releasing all this stuff. And that's a good thing that I realised something again this week. Because even a lot of people have been saying they think they've got rid of a lot of stuff. They think they're there. We're never there. We're always spiraling. We don't know it all. But I believe in my heart that something good's coming and it's going to be bigger than we think. But even when we get to that point, it's still going to be ongoing of this beautiful journey that we're on and forever learning. And I love learning new things. So I think that's brilliant as well. So what you all saying? Yeah, Effie. Yep, true, true. Sometimes I think they feel we are telling them they are all wrong, but that's not why we want to share. That is absolutely brilliant, Lois, because when I had this discussion with someone, it's like they think you're telling them they're wrong and you're right. And there's no if, no buts, and it's that, but it's not that. We're sort of all right. It's just how people explain it, and that's why words get in the way and certain words you use, and that is exactly right, and that's what I was trying to say to this person. But we're both right in a way. It's just things change and things look different sometimes, and it's so hard. But to them, they look like you're saying you're right, and there's no end, there's no if or buts, and it's not, and it's so hard to explain. And that's why I thought I can't really put this out the way I'd like to, but I know people understand what I'm talking about because I think a lot of you are going through it. So I'm choosing now to go with the flow of where it's supposed to be taking me. And I don't mean being on the positive thing because of his negative, but it's just that sitting in the centre, like I said, being the eye of the storm, which I've said anyway, and just let people come to their own conclusions, their own perceptions, because it's going to unfold whether people like it or not. It is unfolding. They're going to see the truth of what's going on. So like I've said before, I don't need to keep shouting about it. I just need to come on here and be shining the light of my little chats in an energetic, positive way. I'm still aware, I'm still looking, but I don't need to get too involved anymore because I'm doing my journey. I can't do it for everybody else, showing my artwork and stuff like that, like I've said before. But I just wanted to share that little video. So please go and check out the Laura Eisenhower video. You might not resonate with everything because I didn't resonate with everything he said, but that's fine. We haven't all got it right. But we know there is an awakening, and we know it's going to another timeline, and it's where you put your energy in, the energy that you focus on and bring in, the negativity. Yeah, I had orbs the other day, and that's why I say I know Trump's working for the light because I've seen pure white orbs around him, but yeah, orbs all the time, the energy's so strong, but it's about our journey. And he did say in this chat that there's a lot of people that act in the victim consciousness, and they do because that's what a lot of people are doing. The Black Lives Matter, and all that's a victim consciousness. We don't want that, and they work in the lack of consciousness, and we don't want that either. You're not in lack. You just think you are because you're told you are. You believe you are, and it's a daily work when we have to work on ourselves, and it's not easy. All them programs that we've been programmed since day dot, and not knowing not to step on others' journeys, which I have done that, so I'll admit it, trying to say to them, yes, but it's this, yes, but it's that, when really we all do it the way we understand it, and the way we can, like I said before, some people say, oh, you've got to meditate, you've got to do yoga, you've got to do this. You just do what works for you, because we are all different in that way of understanding things sometimes. So yeah, and it's all to do with morals and things like that as well. So and it's not about manipulating, because sometimes it can come across as manipulating sometimes, but it's not. But he does mention tyranny. I mean, a lot of the stuff that the Q team's bringing out is tyranny, and people are going to see that. But like I said, I don't need to shout from the rooftops about it anymore and go on about that, because everybody knows on my channel what I believe in, and I've been following Q for nearly over 3 years now, and I've shouted out a lot about JFK Jr. and all that good stuff. So it's all there for people to see, whether it gets bloody removed or put on or whatever. It's all there. What more can I do? Nothing. It's up to people to wake up themselves and go down the journey of the path that they choose to. Hopefully the path that's got more light on it, but it's up to people to choose. A bit like now with the duality, what you're going to choose with what's going on. Are you going to choose to go out and fight in the streets? Well, that's the lower form of negativity anyway. Yes, we have to stand up, but I'd just say go and check the video out. Like I said, it's only what you resonate, you take from that. Don't get triggered if something's said or because he doesn't believe in a certain something. It's just the bits you resonate with. But the beginning of it, I really resonated. A little bit in the middle about Trump and Q. I was like, but I didn't go, oh, that's making me really angry. I did comment on it, which I probably shouldn't have done. Still learning that. But still, I just resonated with the bits that I resonated with. And that was that. But I have learned a lot in the past 2 weeks, and I can see that other people are having that feeling of that energy that's coming in. And then Laura Eisenhower just said it today, and a lot of you have said it in chat. So that's what I wanted to bring in. Yes, we have to remember that we don't know what it's like not to be brainwashed. It's hard. Yeah, and there's that thing of forgiveness as well, because it's not their fault. You know. You have a beautiful heart and amazing. Oh, thank you, Tapper. Yeah, the next generation will be different. But I still have that positive, loving, knowingness of heart, knowing, not ear. Because people say, oh, it's what you've seen, it's what you've seen. It's like, no, there's just this feeling of the change is coming, it's here. It's in front of her face. It just looks really weird at the minute because it looks all like, oh, riots and all that. But you're rioting with yourself, fighting with yourself. So Finn's here now. So I just wanted to shout that video out, and hopefully I'll see you at some point over the weekend, maybe. And Finn, you had a message again. You keep saying this message to everybody, don't you? Have you ate your dinner now?
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah.
Come and tell us all your message.
What was it again?
Thanks. Come and, I don't know, you come and tell us. You know when you did your picture the other day?
Wait.
Oh, wait, he's going to tell us. Yeah.
The whole world is love.
The whole world is love. And then you did a sun the other day, and what did you say the sun was when I asked you?
Jesus.
You said the sun was Jesus. And what does that mean?
Well, the sun made us.
The sun made us.
Yeah, because the sun is Jesus and
Because the sun is
made us.
Jesus and Jesus made us, he said. So yeah, and the whole world is what?
The whole world is love.
The whole world is love.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Is that what the world's going back to?
Yes, I mean good.
Yes, because you're being good.
I'll never get go away.
Actually, he has been good, so yeah. But I mean, he's a kid, you know, and kids say things in ways, but they know, and it's all about being the inner child of you. They're trying to take the inner child away, imagination, living in joy. What lights you up is the most important thing, and that's what I've learned again. Even though I know that, it's what lights you up, that gives you the best energy. What lights you up, you follow. So, thank you, everybody. So, yes, yeah. So, what lights you up is what you should be doing more of. If something you're watching something that doesn't light you up, it's making you down in a frequency, it's making you angry, step away. Even if it's something that you did like, step away. It's people, it's things, it's everything. Yeah, it's a Tasmanian devil, but you know, he's got a good heart, and you know, it's not always what people say, it's what people do, what people can show you they're actually doing, and it's all about the now. It's not what people were before, because we've all said things and done things in the past. When people, for example, talk about Trump, just put that out there as an example. Oh, he said this. Did he or didn't he? It doesn't really matter. It's what he's doing now. It's what people choose now. You've got a choice. You've got a choice too. Something was said today about somebody, you know, it's like people will go on about the victim mentality of it and how they're feeling. Do you know how I feel? And this made me feel, you know, in the past, drop the past and choose to change. Change today with your thoughts, and you can change them all the time. Start tuning in. It's not always easy, but it can be done. Stop using the past as an excuse and using people and things as an excuse because somebody made you feel this way. Get over it and start tuning into what lights you up, basically. And I will see you soon. So yeah, have compassion. Exactly. So where we go one week wall, and I will see you very soon. Bye.